Hello pretty people, so today I am doing a musical theatre tag. This is one of my first tags that I've done. I did do a 100 questions that nobody asks video that, I don't know, about a month ago. I did end up changing the questions up a little bit, and only because I misread some stuff, so and I think I skipped a whole heap of questions, so I ended up putting my own into it. Yeah, I'm going to do a musical theatre tag, and I'm going to be reading them, so hopefully I won't miss questions here. 1. Plays or musicals? I'd say musicals. I think it depends on the story, because some it's gorgeous to have the, songs involved, but please excuse my nasty eyebrow cream swatch. Yeah, I think it depends on the show. Some people can't really, while still being interested in theatre, may not be able to tolerate musicals. Like, I love them, but some people can just handle sort of more just more of a play or another stage show. Just, it's better. But I don't know, I think it depends on the story and how it's written, because some plays can be as gorgeous and as heartbreaking or as happy as some other musicals, but just obviously it depends on the piece and the way it's written. When did you start liking the performing arts? I think I was about 6 years old, and I started dancing. I like to think it's just to, put away all that hyperactive energy as a child, but no, it was about halfway through the year, so I kind of sucked in the show. But my babysitter's daughter, who was a couple of years younger than me, I think she was about 3 when she was doing it, but a lot of dance schools, they take really young children. My mum picked me up from that dance class, and the teacher came up to me and said, "Oh, would you like to join in?" And I said yes, and then I did it for 11 years after that. So, yeah. So that was my first performing arts thing, but throughout all of high school, I did a whole heap of plays and shows. So all the plays that we did all the productions that we did were by Maverick Musicals, so look them up, they're a little bit corny. In year 11 I did a play called Juvie, and it was actually quite dark, and basically it's like a night in a women's detention centre. The play's by Jerome McDonough, I think that's how you pronounce his name. And we use the Josie Grotowski type of direction called pour theatre. Basically it's very, very simple, and basically we just had 4 cells, and I think it was 3 people in each, and we came out to the centre and did a monologue. We didn't use the stage in our auditorium, we just used the floor, and then like our audience were on either side. And so we use like chains to rattle, as bars were made out of alligator straps, so we could just slide through. And yeah, my character was called Sunny. I think it was like Margaret Sunny Collins. And basically she'd been done for accessory to a robbery. And actually she's in jail because she got in a car accident on the way, like escaping from the police, and the main crime committer, I guess. I'm so terrible with words today. Yeah, died in the car accident. So, yeah, that obviously they've been smoking weed and stuff. Basically, there's a line that said, we got so bored that I thought I could have eaten the walls to try and break through. But yeah, it was quite a dark play, and basically we had sort of like the orange suits, like black pants and orange t-shirt, with, you know, juvenile detention centre on the back, and I know a number, I don't think there was any numbering, but yeah, anyway, underneath the t-shirts we'd have black tank tops, and we took the t-shirt off if we were playing another character for someone else's monologue, because everything was monologue based, and honestly I don't like monologues, but I love this play. Like, if I could be involved in it again, I would. So yeah, and then I've done community theatre for a couple of years. I've done Anything Goes, and I've done Annie, and I'm currently in Oklahoma. So that is my theatre experiences, basically my resume. Ever been in a musical? I've just answered that. What was the first musical you saw on Broadway? I've never actually been to Broadway. I live in Australia, so I've never actually been out of Australia, unfortunately. But I did see the professional version of Les Miserables in Melbourne last year. They've been to Perth now, they're in Sydney, and I'd love to go again. Because as you've seen in other videos, I've met the cast. Well, I've met 5 cast members of like 30. There's a whole heap of them. If you could be any female character in a musical, who would you be? I think everyone must be either Eponine or Fontaine. I'd love to play Mrs. Wilkinson from Billy Elliot, but obviously I'd need to wait like a good 30 years. Maybe not 30, but at least 20. Just so I can, you know, look old enough to be a mother. And plus, but you need to be like, obviously, because she's a ballet teacher, so she needs to be thin and be able to fit into those incredible tights. But she also tap dances. Damn it! But if I can't make people laugh, I love to pull at the heartstrings by playing the dead mum, because the letter and its reprise is gorgeous. It's one of my favourite songs, and yeah, it's a gorgeous song. Who else? Oh, I'd love to play Christine, but I think obviously I can just get the high note in like the Phantom of the Opera theme song on a good day, very warmed up. Who else? Oh, maybe I'll just settle for Meg Geary. Actually, you know what? Madame Geary would be a good role, but again, I'd need to wait quite a few years. Which male character? I think everyone would say Ozra. I'm just gonna be like super mainstream. That's a good question. For Raoul, I kind of like what Hadley Fraser did with it, the more aggressive side. Oh, and Killian, I can imagine his would have been a little bit more aggressive as well. Favourite musical song to sing in a shower? I always find myself singing Eponine's Errand, but I also quite often sing things like Part of Your World, and I've caught myself singing Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again a couple of times. Who's your favourite theatre actress? Sierra Bogues for sure. I love Carrie Hope Fletcher. Lara Mulcahy was such a darling when I met her. Basically she, you know, she came out of the stage door, and obviously, you know, my mum and I went up and complimented her, and she was holding a massive bunch of flowers. And yeah, because I wanted, you know, obviously trying to get a photo with her, and she goes, here. She's such a happy person. She's like, here, make it look like, you know, you'll give me the flowers. And I'm like, okay. So the photo I've got with her, which I'm gonna post now, I'm laughing really, really hard in the photo, so my face looks a bit odd. Who else is there? Samantha Barks has got a gorgeous voice, but I think she's, like, I don't know, I don't want to say her because she's a bit mainstream. Sutton Foster. I can't wait to see Younger. She's doing a TV show. Oh, at the moment I love Ruthie Henschel. She's just so fabulous. Favourite actors, Killian Donnelly Buffer, Hayden T, as everyone knows, Frafi, Scott Garnham, Hadley Fraser, Romain Kareemlu, Aaron Tveit is like the sexiest man alive, and that poll in Next Normal, that made me happy. Anyway, Noel Sheehy. Noel Sheehy, he's hilarious, but if you've seen his electricity video where he did the West End Fests. And Dennis Grindle was a great Jimmy Rabbit from The Commitments. What do you think? Favourite film adaptation of a musical? Oh god, I don't know. I'd usually say Les Mis, but I've seen it twice. I used to watch it all the time, but I've seen it only twice since I saw the stage show, and I just haven't been able to watch it the same. I'm not a big fan of Russell Crowe. Has anyone noticed that, like, Hugh Jackman clearly ages throughout the film, and then Russell Crowe gets like a couple grey hairs? What else was there? I hated Phantom of the Opera. I just didn't like Gerard Butler, and I thought Emma Rosen was weak. And Patrick Wilson sounds like too much like a Disney prince. Once is beautiful. Mainly because of the Irish accent. What do you think is the most overrated musical? As much as I love the Phantom, as much as I love Phantom of the Opera, I wasn't a big fan of Love Never Dies. As much as Simon Gleeson I should have put in my favourite actors list. He's an amazing Valjean. He's the Australian Valjean. Yeah, he played Raoul in the Australian production of Love Never Dies, which has a DVD out. And actually, I think that's something that could have actually just been done as a play, even though, you know, it's... Yeah, I don't know. I like the story, but I just couldn't really get into... And some of the songs were gorgeous, I just couldn't really get into it. I think I've tried to watch it 3 times, and I just couldn't get past a certain point. And, yeah, I think as much as Simon Gleeson was an amazing Raoul, I just couldn't get into the show. Musical that made you cry. Billy Elliot. Obviously Les Mis, bits of Les Mis. Mainly Gavroche's death. Or, depends on how Empty Chairs and Empty Tables is done. If you're Australian and you've seen the stage show, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm gonna, for those elsewhere, basically, when, you know how on the London barricade, the turntable, it turns around and you see Andreas's dead body? Well, in the stage show, they bring on a cart, they turn the cart around, and his dead body is on there. But then they carry on Gavroche's dead body and lay it next to Andreas, and it's just... and then, okay, and then that's enough about that. And then during turning, they bring out some candles, and like the women bring out candles, and it's like, oh, that's gorgeous, it's a memoriam. And then during empty tables, his phantom faces at the window part where they all come out, all the fallen men come out. There's a candle for them each, and it's just tearing the heartstrings. But yeah, it was gorgeous. What musical made you laugh? Bits of Billy Elliot. Basically anything that, any scene that Mr. Braithwaite's involved in, and, just, Ruthie Henshaw is such a sassy, she's just such a sassy Mrs. Wilkinson, and Zach Atkinson was an amazing Michael, like, the expressing yourself scene, and in the middle of, after the Merry Christmas Maggie Thatcher, just before his dream dance, the part where he puts on the tutu and he's like, you know, dance for us, Billy, and goes, just a little bit, and it's just, like, Elliot Hanna cannot keep a straight face, and it was so funny, like, he's just sitting there going, and I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face either, because Zach Atkinson is just, a little living legend, like, he's just so good. He's just like full of energy, and I just can't get over it. But yes, Zach Atkinson is insane, and he and Elliot have just finished up last month, and David Muscat is an amazing Mr. Braithwaite, and he finishes up next month, and he's been in the show for like 2.5 years. Actually, Elliot had been in the show for 2 years, but yeah, David Muscat finishes up in the show, and as an Australian, I'm so proud of him because he's so good. He's just so... are there any musicals you saw and hated? I'm just going to go back to Love Never Dies because I didn't really want to, but I just couldn't get into it. Are you supposed to say, like, saw live and hated? Because I'm just going to say, like, seen DVD versions and hated. Because I didn't like Love Never Dies at all. As much as I love Simon Gleason. What musical do you want to see as a film? I know they did... I'm obsessed with Billy Elliot. As much as they did the film, yes. And that was a gorgeous film. Jamie Bell was so good. But I would love to see... I'd love to see the film version of the musical. Please bring back Killian Donnelly though. Chris Crampton is a really good Tony. But I would love to have seen Killian Donnelly's Tony. So, and David Muscat and Zach Atkinson are just insanely good. Which musicals are you dying to see? I just want to see Phantom of the Opera. I just want to see the staging. It is gorgeous. I wish I would have seen Once when it was here in Australia. I want to see The Commitments. My dad and I both love the film. I want to see... Oh, and Bring Back Killian, obviously. As much as he's doing so well in Memphis, which is probably another one I'd put on my list. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. What is your all-time favourite musical? Les Miserables. What would you do if theatre didn't exist? I don't want to fathom a world without theatre because I think it means so much to a lot of people, and it just helps people, you know, express their creativity and their talent, and yeah, I just can't think of a world without theatre. no, not happening. No, it's not gonna work. Yeah, so that was 18 questions. I believe it was 18. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so that was my questions, and I hope you got some insight, and yeah, I had a lot of fun. Obviously, it's my favourite thing to talk about. So yeah, have a good day and stay classy, kids.